Have you ever felt like something invisible is holding you back, as if you're living a life that isn't fully your own? Like every decision, every thought, has already been shaped for you. You're not alone. Billions of us are caught in what I like to call the matrix of the mind, a web of beliefs, fears, and limitations that keep us from living authentically. This isn't about some sci-fi dystopia. This is about the real-life mental cage we live in every day. The voice in your head that says, "You're not good enough." The fear that stops you from taking risks. The pressure to fit into boxes you never agreed to. What if I told you there's a way to break free? In this video, we're diving deep into the hidden programming that controls your mind and, more importantly, how you can escape it. We'll uncover the subtle ways this mental matrix keeps you stuck, learn to spot the patterns, and explore actionable strategies to break free and reclaim your freedom. By the end, you'll see the world and yourself in a completely different light. You'll realize that the only limits are the ones you accept. So, are you ready to wake up and discover the power that's been hiding within you all along? Let's begin. Let's start by looking at the invisible forces that shape our thoughts, beliefs, and actions. From the moment we're born, society begins to program us. It teaches us what's normal, what's right, and what's acceptable. Think about it. How often do you make choices because you truly want to, versus because it's what's expected of you? The truth is, much of our thinking isn't even ours. It's shaped by our environment, parents, teachers, social media, the news. We're taught to value success over happiness, to fear failure, and to compare ourselves to others constantly. It's like being handed a script for life that we didn't even write. One of the most powerful tools of the mental matrix is fear. Fear keeps you from stepping outside the lines. Fear of rejection, fear of failure, even fear of success. These are all carefully planted seeds that grow into mental barriers. Have you ever stopped yourself from pursuing a dream because you thought, "What if I fail?" That's the matrix speaking, not you. Another trick of the matrix is distraction. We live in a world designed to keep us busy, scrolling endlessly, consuming content, chasing the next shiny thing. But what if I told you that this constant activity isn't living? It's surviving. It's staying trapped in a cycle. That keeps you too distracted to question the system. And here's the kicker. The matrix makes you think you're in control. It convinces you that the choices you make are entirely your own. But are they? When you buy that latest gadget, are you fulfilling a personal desire or responding to clever marketing? When you choose a career, are you following your passion or society's definition of success? Breaking free starts with recognizing this illusion of control. It's not about rejecting everything around you, but learning to question it. What beliefs are truly yours? What goals are genuinely meaningful to you? And which parts of your life have been handed to you by someone else? The good news is, once you see the illusion for what it is, you can begin to dismantle it. It's uncomfortable at first, like peeling away layers of an onion, but each layer you remove brings you closer to your authentic self. Now that we've uncovered how the matrix controls your thoughts and actions, let's move on to recognizing the patterns that keep you stuck. This is where the real work begins. The first step to breaking free from the matrix of your mind is awareness. You can't escape a trap if you don't even realize you're in one. The matrix thrives on hidden patterns, cycles of thought and behavior that keep you locked in place without you even noticing. Take a moment to reflect. Have you ever caught yourself saying, "I'm just not good at that," or "That's just who I am"? These are examples of limiting beliefs, one of the matrix's most powerful tools. They disguise themselves as truth, but in reality, they're just stories you've repeated so many times that you believe them. Another common pattern is negative self-talk. You know that inner voice that criticizes you every step of the way. It's like having a personal heckler living in your head. You'll never make it. Why even try? Everyone else is better than you. This voice isn't you. It's the matrix, feeding on your insecurities to keep you small. Procrastination is another sneaky trap. It's not just about putting things off, it's about fear disguised as delay. "I'll start when I feel ready." Sound familiar? The truth is, waiting for the perfect moment is just another way the matrix keeps you from moving forward. And then there's the pattern of comparison. Social media is the matrix's playground. Every time you scroll through someone's highlight reel and feel less than, you're reinforcing the belief that you're not enough. But here's the secret. You're comparing your behind the scenes to someone else's best moments. So how do you recognize these patterns? Start by paying attention to your thoughts. When you catch yourself saying, "I can't" or "I should," ask yourself why. Who told you that? Where does that belief come from? Journaling can be a powerful tool here. Write down recurring thoughts and look for patterns. You might notice that certain triggers, like criticism, failure, or rejection, send you into a spiral. These triggers are clues, pointing directly to the areas where the matrix has the strongest grip on you. It's also important to question the rules you live by. Who says success means working 80 hours a week? Who decided that failure is something to be ashamed of? When you start asking these questions, you'll begin to see how much of your life is dictated by invisible forces. Recognizing these patterns is like turning on the lights in a dark room. Suddenly, you can see the traps and obstacles that were always there but hidden. This awareness alone is empowering, because once you see the matrix, it loses its hold on you. Now that you know how to identify the patterns that keep you stuck, it's time to take action. In the next section, we'll explore practical ways to reprogram your mind and step into the freedom that's waiting for you. Recognizing the patterns is powerful, but awareness alone won't set you free. To truly break out of the matrix, you need to reprogram your mind. Think of your brain as a computer. If it's running outdated software filled with bugs and glitches, it's going to crash repeatedly. It's time to rewrite the code. One of the most effective tools for this is mindfulness meditation. Now, I know that word gets thrown around a lot, but hear me out. Meditation isn't about sitting cross-legged and chanting. It's about observing your thoughts without judgment. Imagine stepping back and watching your mind like a movie. You'll start to see the patterns and realize, wait, I don't have to believe everything I think. Start small. Take 5 minutes every day to sit quietly and focus on your breath. When thoughts come up, and they will, don't fight them. Just notice them and let them pass, like clouds drifting across the sky. Over time, this practice creates a gap between you and your thoughts, giving you the power to choose which ones to entertain. Another game-changing strategy is positive affirmations. Remember those limiting beliefs we talked about earlier? Affirmations are like antidotes. They help you rewrite the story you tell yourself. For example, if you've always believed, "I'm not good enough," replace it with, "I am capable and I deserve success." Say it out loud every day, even if it feels silly at first. Your brain doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's repeated. Eventually, it will believe the new story. Journaling is another key tool, but this isn't your typical Dear Diary exercise. Use your journal as a space to challenge your thoughts. Write down a limiting belief, and then counter it with evidence that proves it wrong. For example, if you think, "I always fail," write down moments when you succeeded. This process trains your mind to see possibilities instead of limitations. Breaking free also requires challenging the societal conditioning you've grown up with. Start by questioning the narratives you've been told. For instance, who says you need to work a traditional 9-to-5 job to be successful? Who decided that you need a certain type of relationship or lifestyle to be happy? When you begin to question these assumptions, you open the door to creating a life that aligns with your values, not someone else's expectations. Critical thinking is your best friend here. Practice looking at situations from multiple perspectives. If everyone is saying one thing, ask yourself, is this true for me? The matrix thrives on groupthink, so breaking free often means standing alone in your truth. Let's talk about fear for a moment. Fear is one of the matrix's most effective tools, but here's the thing. Fear loses its power when you face it head-on. Start small. Do something that scares you, even if it's as simple as speaking up in a meeting or trying a new hobby. Each time you face a fear, you weaken its hold on you. Another essential step is surrounding yourself with the right people. If you're constantly around negativity, it's like trying to swim with weights tied to your feet. Seek out individuals who inspire and uplift you. Join communities, whether online or in person, where people are actively working to break free from their own mental matrices. Lastly, let's talk about gratitude. It might sound counterintuitive. Why focus on what you're grateful for when you're trying to change your life? But gratitude shifts your focus from lack to abundance. When you start noticing the good in your life, no matter how small, you create space for more good to flow in. It's like flipping a switch in your mind from "I'm stuck" to "I'm growing." Reprogramming your mind isn't an overnight process. It's a journey that requires patience and persistence. But every small step you take brings you closer to freedom. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that the fears, doubts, and limitations that once held you back no longer have power over you. That's what's waiting for you on the other side of this work. Next, we'll explore what life looks like when you've broken free, when you're truly living outside the matrix. But for now, take a moment to appreciate how far you've come. The fact that you're here, watching this video and doing this work, means you're already on the path to liberation. So, what does life look like once you've broken free from the matrix of your mind? Imagine waking up each day and feeling a sense of clarity, peace, and purpose. No more chasing after things that don't truly matter. No more living by someone else's rules. You're finally in control, not of everything around you, but of how you respond to it. One of the first things you'll notice is how much lighter you feel. Breaking free from the mental traps of fear and doubt is like dropping a weight you didn't even realize you were carrying. Suddenly, you're able to make decisions without second-guessing yourself. You trust your instincts and follow your inner compass, not the opinions of others. Relationships change too. When you're no longer trapped in the cycle of seeking validation or approval, you can connect with people on a deeper level. You start choosing relationships that nourish your soul instead of draining your energy. And because you're showing up as your authentic self, the right people will naturally gravitate toward you. Living outside the matrix also means embracing the unknown. The matrix thrives on certainty and routine, but true freedom comes from being okay with not having all the answers. You start seeing challenges as opportunities for growth instead of obstacles to avoid. It's a shift in mindset that opens up endless possibilities. You'll also discover a newfound sense of gratitude. When you're not distracted by societal pressures or mental clutter, you can fully appreciate the beauty of the present moment. A sunrise, a conversation, a quiet moment with yourself. These simple things take on a richness that you might have overlooked before. One of the most profound changes is how you define success. In the matrix, success is often tied to material possessions or external achievements. But outside the matrix, success is about alignment. It's about living a life that feels true to you, no matter what that looks like. For some, it might mean a high-powered career. For others, it's a quiet, peaceful life. There's no right or wrong. It's about what resonates with you. Let's talk about fear again. Even outside the matrix, fear doesn't disappear completely. It's part of being human. But the difference is, fear no longer controls you. Instead of seeing it as a barrier, you see it as a sign that you're stepping out of your comfort zone. You learn to coexist with fear, using it as a tool for growth rather than a reason to hold back. Of course, living outside the matrix doesn't mean life becomes perfect. Challenges still arise and setbacks still happen, but the way you handle them changes. You no longer view them as signs of failure, but as opportunities to learn and adapt. Every experience, good or bad, becomes a stepping stone on your journey. Perhaps the most rewarding part of breaking free is the sense of empowerment. You realize that you are the creator of your reality. The choices you make, the beliefs you hold, and the actions you take all shape the world around you. This isn't some abstract idea. It's a powerful truth that becomes evident once you step outside the matrix. As you live in this new state of freedom, you also become an example for others. People will notice the change in you, the confidence, the calmness, the authenticity, and they'll start asking questions. Without even trying, you'll inspire others to question their own mental programming and embark on their own journeys to liberation. This isn't just about transforming your own life. When enough individuals break free, the ripple effect begins to change society as a whole. Imagine a world where more people are living authentically, free from fear and societal constraints. That's the kind of impact you can have by choosing to step outside the matrix. Breaking free is the first step, but staying free is a lifelong journey. It's about staying vigilant, questioning your thoughts, and continuously aligning your life with your values. The work doesn't end, but the rewards are infinite. Now, let's bring it all together and end with some final reflections on why this journey matters and how you can start making changes today. Breaking free from the matrix of your mind isn't just about changing the way you think. It's about reclaiming your power. It's about living a life that's true to you, not one dictated by fear, societal expectations, or outdated beliefs. You've seen how the matrix shapes your thoughts, how to recognize its patterns, and the tools to break free. Now, the question is, what will you do with this knowledge? Will you continue living on autopilot, or will you take the first step toward freedom? Remember, this isn't about making drastic changes overnight. Start small. Spend 5 minutes a day in mindfulness. Challenge just one limiting belief, or take one action that scares you. Each small step builds momentum, and before you know it, you'll be creating a life that feels truly your own. If this video has inspired you, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with someone who might need to hear this message. And if you're ready to dive deeper, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. We're just getting started on this journey, and there's so much more to explore. You hold the key to your freedom. The power to change your life is already within you. It always has been. The only thing standing in your way is the belief that you can't. So, let me ask you, what's stopping you? Take the leap. Step outside the matrix. The life you've always dreamed of is waiting for you to claim it.